Today we're dyeing Sari silk, which will be available at the Pin and Hook, my shop on Etsy. I'm going to start with this ivory Sari silk that I get from India. This Sari silk is also available in my shop, Pin and Hook. Seems to be very popular. A lot of people are buying it, and I think that they are doing similar things to what I'm doing today. So what I'm going to do in this method is I'm going to pour dye onto the Sari silk and use my hands to push it around in the Sari silk and dye it that way. And we start out with a bowl covered with a garbage bag. And I'm just putting it into the bowl like that. No special reason. And I'm going to put gloves on my hands because, as you can see, dye will turn your hands a different color. So if you don't want people asking you why your hands are blue or green, and if you don't want that dye sinking into your skin, it's wise to put on some gloves. I like the dishwashing gloves. They're thick and they tend to fit my hands, which are kind of small. This is Pink Flamingo dye, and it's from Dharma Trading Company. And I'm just going to pour some into this container that I only use for dyeing. You don't ever want to use a container for cooking that you've used for dyeing, because no matter how eco-friendly the dye says it is, you don't really want to put that in your body. Kind of like you don't eat certain plants. They make you sick, but they're still eco-friendly. So I'm just going to pour a small amount over the Sari ribbon. Because I don't want it pooling underneath too much. I want to be able to control some of the amount. Now with Sari ribbon, you're not going to get a perfect dye. There's a lot of variations in the cloth. It's made up of several garments that have been worn, and sometimes you have thinner versions of silk and thicker versions of silk in the same skein. Sometimes you'll have an embroidered piece or some gold flecks. So you're going to get a variation. So if you like perfection and you want a perfectly dyed skein of Sari silk, then I wouldn't suggest going with ribbon. I would suggest perhaps going with silk yarn. See, I'm just kind of moving the dye around in here. I'm not using too much because this ribbon will soak up the dye, and then you'll have a bunch to get out later. But I am trying to make sure that I cover most of the ribbon with this. This color is going to come out a coral when all is said and done. It's very pretty, I think. And when I sold coral in my shop before, it did sell, so I want to do that again. Now this Sari silk ribbon seems to have some purple marks in it too, so there'll be some purple dots. But they'll still look pretty with the coral. See, I'm just kind of kneading it. Now this, it's going through, but it'll need some more. Sometimes if I don't have enough, I'll add a complementary color in, and that seems to make it pretty, but I may not have enough of this color. We shall see. And when you have a lot of dye in your ribbon, it will go down onto the bag. And sometimes I use that for a piece of my hair. Sometimes I use that to soak up. I'm just going to put some in on the other side. See how it kind of disperses it a little bit? The mix from the dye that I have is 1 teaspoon per cup of water. When you're mixing your dye, you want to wear a dust mask so that you don't get the powder in your nose. And boy, does that dye make a mess if you accidentally open it and it's not. It has the little paper inside that goes into the cap, and that comes out. It'll get all over the place. So you want to make sure you do it in a place that you don't mind turning a different color for a little while, like an old sink or stainless steel sink or something like that. If you have beautiful countertops, I would suggest always putting plastic over your countertops when you're doing your dye process. If you don't have a laundry room or something. I see I've run out of dye there. But I'm just going to knead it and then let the color go through. See how that extra dye comes out? And it just kind of goes through and seeps into the uncolored fabric. And like I said, this isn't going to be a perfect dye. I mean, it's not going to be like this super coral all the way through. There are going to be some bits of ivory still. But it does make a pretty ribbon. And sometimes it's nice to have pops of different color in a yarn. Now, see how there's extra dye coming out into my thing? If I were going to dye another ribbon the same color, I would just put that in there. And that way I don't waste dye. So now I think I'm about done. I'm going to unfold the ribbon a bit. Oops. See, it's pretty. It looks pretty good. Now I'm getting it ready to put into the pot to wash it. So I'm going to squeeze out some extra dye so that I don't have to squeeze it out later. Because standing there rinsing for a long period of time is rather boring. And what I'm going to do with this is I'm going to wrap it up into a sheet of plastic wrap. into a roll like these over here. See, all those are ready to go into the steamer where the color will be set. And then we'll have sari ribbon in different colors to crochet or knit with or weave or use it for wrapping presents. Or see, and there's that purple spot. That doesn't look too bad in there. If I had really run out of ribbon, I could have probably put some different purple in there, but I'm not sure if that would turn it muddy, so I'm not going to do it right now. There it is. Very simple.